All right, guys, so we're doing the 1 year update on our Rustoleum epoxy shield, and we did this. This shop is a pretty big shop. It's 24 by 48, and when I first was looking at epoxies, I looked at all kinds of different ones. We got a quote locally, and they wanted $10,000 to coat this floor. And I thought, well, I ran the math on it to do the epoxy shield and to do the clear coat, the topper coat, was going to be $700 to $800. And I thought, well, we could literally do it 10 times ourselves than spend the money for one time through a company coming to do it. And then there was no guarantee to them either. So if it messed up, I don't know what to tell you. Oh well, I guess. So this is the gray gloss. And so it is a little bit shiny to start. But how this works is you have two parts. You have the part A, which is the activator, and then you get a gallon. You actually get 2 of these gallons and 2 of these in one box. This is a 2.5 garage kit. So there's your color. And then you also get several bags of these chips, which we use to scatter lightly. And then you also get bags of sand you could put in the top finish or in the clear coat. Now, we used 2 of these. I'm trying to remember now. We used 2 or 3 of these boxes. I think we only used 2 of these boxes. So we used essentially only 3 of the 4 gallons for this. It rolled on really easy. Some things you should know about this. If you have a machine finished concrete floor where it's shiny and really slick, you have to go through a lot more steps to put this on. It is not going to be as easy as putting the etcher on the floor and spraying it off. It's just not. If you put this over a slick finished floor, it will come off, period. So if your floor is already slick finished and it's old or new construction, it doesn't matter. You need to rent a grinder. You need to run a grinder over it. Usually you go to Lowe's or Home Depot. You can rent one for a day or so for $100, and you need to grind it. Now, we did not grind this. This concrete was not perfectly smooth. It's a little bit rough, but we put it on there anyway, and it turned out. So we got lucky. So you do put this on with a roller. Now, putting on with the roller is okay for the base. I think next time you put the clear on, the clear finish, we're going to use a squeegee to put it on. Just because you can't get it on very thick with a roller, and it doesn't fill in little divots and cracks with the roller as good. Now, everything turned out really good. We're going to flip it around and we're going to show you here. Okay, so as you can see here, let Philip get back. This floor is a little bit on the rough side. You can see some ripples from the float and things like that in it. But that did give us an excellent bonding surface. Should we have rented the grinder and ground it? Probably, but we could always do that later, right? This is kind of an experiment, and this has 2 rolled coats of clear coat on top of it. So overall, there's no problems at all. It does not come off easily. You have to do something pretty aggressive to it to get it to come off. There's a few issues, and you can see here where the Porsche is parked, we have a black mat in the lift. It's kind of dusty right now. But see, there's a black mat. So when we're working on the lift, spilling stuff on the floor, dropping stuff on the floor, we're not working around top of the epoxy. However, I spilled brake fluid, gasoline, oil, antifreeze on this epoxy, and it's set under cars we have parked here for months, and it won't hurt it at all. And it does really well at that. We did scratch it just 2 days ago. We just finally scratched it after a whole year. And we'll show you here, walk over here. And Philip can show you there's like a white scratch on the floor. And I was moving this old table saw and it got a piece of wood stuck under it and locked the caster up on it. And it gouged it through. Now, that's the only damage we have. I've dropped big wrenches and stuff on it. And they just bounced and nothing happened. It's also going to depend on what your mix of concrete is. This is a 6-bag mix. It's a pretty heavy mix. So it's pretty dense. If you have a real watered down mix and you drop a big wrench on it, it's going to chip the concrete, therefore chip the epoxy off. I rolled this last March, so it's been just slightly over a year, right? Overall, it took probably not quite 2 hours to roll all of it by myself. And then you got to wait till the next day, then you put the clear coat on it. So when we put the clear coat on it, we went through 8 cartons of clear coat, right? That might have been 7. I don't remember. The whole thing was like $800. However, the math plays out. I could have kept putting clear coat on it until it had a just glass finish on it, but it was getting expensive pretty quick, so we didn't do that. Now, since we rolled it when it's cooler out, we had a little problem over here by the door, and you can see it's attracted dirt. The clear coat did not dry completely, and it got like somewhat sticky. So we're trying to figure out now, do I just go ahead and grind that and re-roll it, or just put a damn rubber mat over it and forget about it, right? So other than that, that's the only problem area we have in the whole shop, is just right here in front of the door. I don't know if the concrete was colder in that area. That was before we had heat in here. It was like in the 60s outside, but at night it got a little below ideal temperature for it. So there's things you have to watch out like that. However, like I said, to have the company come and do it is 10 grand. So we could easily redo this. I could just grind this whole spot out, roll some color back on it, roll some clear back on it. You wouldn't really even be able to tell where you stopped and where you started as long as you feather it out good. So overall, I would say I'm pretty happy with it. Unless you don't prep the concrete right, unless you're horribly destructive, this stuff will hold up. And your average person can do it. The smell isn't too bad. You could definitely do this on a basement floor. If you have a 2-car garage, it cannot take any UV light at all, so you cannot do it outside, right? Not that you want to. Is it slick like this? No, it's not. And it came with all the sand and all the stuff to put mixed with it if you wanted to have a gripperier tread. We've never once slipped on this. It's not even the chips that keep you from slipping on this. You can do it. It doesn't smell that bad. It is an easily accessible thing. But I would definitely get a squeegee to apply it with something you can stand up and push the clear coat around, and that'll fill any little imperfections in your concrete, especially if you have a rougher slab. That's pretty much it. I would say overall, we're very satisfied with it, 9 out of 10. If 5 or 10 years from now I have to go rent a grinder for $100 and roll it all again, I'm totally okay with that, right? There's no problem at all. I have zero problem with that whatsoever, and that's exactly what we'll do if need be. Don't let all the bad reviews of this scare you guys off. Make sure the temperature is right. It should be in the 70s. Look at the back of the package. Make sure you're within range on that. And just thinking about that, this is the leftover kit from my single car garage we did. So this did take 2.5 car garages, kits. So keep that in mind. That's going to be it, guys. We'll see you later. Have a good day.